Well, hello everybody and welcome to a new speed build. If you've been here before, welcome back. And if you're new, thank you so much for stopping by. I upload new speed builds every Sunday and new stop motion videos every Wednesday. And on my channel, it's all about Sims 4 building. So if you're into that, definitely make sure to hit that subscribe button. And if you like this video, be sure to give it a like as well, because that really helps me out a lot. So today's video is a little different, and that's especially because it's uploaded a little bit later than usual, and that's because I have been actually working on this video and on this build until I think I stopped building like at 3 p.m. or something, or maybe even 4 p.m. like it's almost like 3-4 hours ago. And yeah, usually I'm just like finished building like the day before, like the latest, and yeah, it was pretty late. And also the editing took me quite a while because this is a massive build, and there was a lot of footage and I had to do a lot of cutting. And yeah, so that's why it's a little bit later, but yeah, I hope you don't mind that too much. I'm sorry about that. And anyway, so this is a very, very big build, and this is actually a Millionaire Mansion. And this is the first time I have been building something like that. And I have actually been wanting to build a Millionaire something for a while now. And to be exact, actually, this is, I think, 1.2 million, so it's even a little bit more. And yeah, I have been wanting to build something like that for a while, and I thought, I don't know why, but I was kind of nervous if I would be able to pull it off to like really get like 1 million simoleons, but that's kind of absurd because I mean, this is a 64 by 64 lot, and it's not very hard to like gather 1 million simoleons on a big lot like that. And especially because I used pretty much all of the Get Famous items and they're hella expensive. So yeah, anyway, I wanted to do this for a while now, and I had actually so much fun doing this. And I was really going for something totally like over the top, and I was going for something like a Bel Air kind of mansion. And I know like in like, or Beverly Hills maybe, I don't know, like something really, really luxurious. And I know there's a lot of like modern mansions as well, and this obviously isn't modern at all. But yeah, I wanted to go for, I kind of had in mind like the mansion from Prince of Bel-Air. That's kind of what I had in mind. I know it looks completely different, but it's kind of like the same style. It's a little bit more traditional, and of course it still has like some modern touches. And yeah, but that's kind of the style that I was going for. And as you can see, I started from the back, and this is the lot, the 64 by 64 in Del Sol Valley. And I actually really love this lot, but the lighting is, it's great actually, but only from the back. So the front pretty much never gets light, and that's kind of like, yeah, it kind of bothers me because I really love this lot and the view is just beautiful, but for that reason I pretty much never build there. And yeah, also I don't think that makes sense, you know, if the sun is like, even at noon, the sun would be like super high in the air, and I mean, there should be sun in the front as well, you know what I mean? But yeah, anyway, I'm starting at the back because the first thing that I actually had in mind and that I really knew how I wanted it to look was the pool. So I knew that I wanted there to be an infinity pool, and I wanted it to look like there's like water really like dripping over the edge, and I wanted there to be a waterfall. And I don't know, that's kind of the image that started me on this build. I had this image in mind of this waterfall that's just like coming off a kind of rock that is sticking into the air basically. And yeah, that's kind of an image that came to my mind randomly someday, and I kind of had that as my first like inspiration. And yeah, I did that only using the sprinklers that we have. I forget the name. They're not called sprinklers, or maybe they are. I don't know, but you know what I mean. And yeah, I didn't use any waterfalls for this. I only used these sprinklers, like a ton of them. And I did use tool to rotate them a little bit because the angle of these jet water emitters, I think that's what they're called, the jet water emitters was a little bit too high, and I wanted it to be a little bit more so that they kind of like sprinkled more towards the ground. So I rotated them just a little bit. And yeah, for the pool, I wanted it to be very curved, and you will find a lot of curved shapes in this build in general. And the pool is curved by adding, I use this base game debug object. It's kind of like a stone path thing. And I used this and just covered the edges of the pool, basically. That's it. And also I used a floating foundation that is hovering over the pool, like a round foundation, or it's actually like a balcony, and I just deleted the balcony, and that's why it's able to like hover over the pool like that. So yeah, that's what I did. And as you can see, this whole thing really took me a hot minute. It took me a long time to get the shell even done. And yeah, I didn't expect that. I don't know why, but I didn't, which is kind of stupid. I should have, but anyway, for this particular thing that I'm working on right now, I used I wanted it to be completely round, and it's not exactly a room. I only used tool and rotated the windows, but I did use a platform, like a round platform, as a guide, and I deleted that afterwards, and I just added a balcony on top, like a round balcony. So that's why it's completely round. And for the windows, the opening, I again used tool to put them at an angle and just kind of stack them in front of each other so that it looks like they are like some yeah, doors that you can just close, basically. Yeah, that's what I wanted it to look like. And yeah, then I'm still working on the shell. It's ridiculous because it's almost been like 10 minutes. And usually I think the shell in my builds is done at, I don't know, 2, 3, maximum 4 minutes, I think. But it's going on, guys. It's gonna take a while still. So bear with me. And still again, here I'm working on a round kind of thing. And I wanted to have this green house at the side of the build, and that's not attached to the actual house. And yeah, I also created this round room using windows, and then I attached an actual room to that round section, and yeah, just covered it with windows as well. And what I did for this build, like pretty much everywhere, is I used these Get Famous windows, and I sized them up with tool. And the thing is, you know, if you size up windows, you will have this weird like opening, and the window isn't like you have the edge of the windows, like the frame, and then the opening is just like the actual size of the window. So what I did to prevent that from happening, I mean, it did happen, but to cover that up, I used other windows. I think I used just the eco lifestyle ones that are just really plain boxy kind of windows, and I put them over top so that they overlap a little bit, and then I used tool to select them and size them down to, I think, 0.001 or something like that. So the windows aren't actually visible. So I did that all around this build, and that's actually a pretty cool trick. I mean, if you have tool, and yeah, it's a nice trick because I always find that the windows are either too small or too big, and I wanted to have the tall wall height for this, and the windows that we have, like the tall wall height windows and also doors, are just so few, and they just didn't look like, they weren't in the style that I was going for at all. They looked way too modern. So yeah, I figured I could just use this trick and make it happen. Sometimes what happens is that if the windows are too big, they will show kind of the shadow will look a little bit weird on the interior, but that doesn't really bother me too much because I always cover that up with curtains, and yeah, it's not really a big deal to me anyway. Yeah, so by the way, I wanted to mention that if you don't have tool, you can still use this build. I know that a lot of you guys know that, but some I think do not. It's not like a custom content kind of thing. This build is completely functional for anyone. So even if even with console, you can still download this. This doesn't affect the gameplay or anything at all. So it's just for building, and this is completely uploaded to the gallery and you can just download it. So yeah, just wanted to mention that. And yeah, as you can see here, I did cut out some footage because yeah, it just would have been way too long. I think if I just would have edited the video as it was with all the footage and even sped up a lot, it would have been like, I think, over an hour, maybe even like 2 hours, like a long time. So yeah, I did cut out some of it, and I'm not showing you all of the interior because there's 4 bedrooms and 5 bathrooms, and I think there's 20 rooms in total. So I'm not showing you all of them, but I'm showing you a couple. And what you just saw me like a minute ago, what you just saw me do there is I added some platforms onto the roof. And I wanted there to be some leveling, as I always want, and I wanted there to be some round shapes as well. So I added some platforms, round platforms, and had them at a different like height, and one of them had actually a fence attached to it, so it was a little bit higher even. And then I have one hovering roof on top, and one is just covered with this base game roof decoration that we have, and I just copy pasted that basically. So yeah, I just wanted to explain that real quick. And yeah, now we're on to the interior, and what just happened was the indoor pool. So they do have a lot in the house, and they do have an indoor pool as well, of course. And now we're on to the kitchen, and the kitchen is it's technically not functional, and hear me out. I covered everything with these the marble table. I think that came with Dine Out, and I wanted to do that for such a long time, and I finally decided to do that because I haven't figured out yet how to do that without like making it like not functional. I know a lot of people like have tutorials on that, but I don't know why I could never figure it out. So I decided to do it anyway, and yeah, it isn't functional, but we do have another kitchen, like some sort of kitchen outside. So there is a grill and like a barbecue area and counters and a sink and everything. So everything is functional out there. So the Sims, and it's right next to the kitchen, so the Sims can easily prepare the food there and do the dishes and whatnot. Or if you really want the kitchen to work, you can just delete the marble table. That's not a big deal at all. Or you can just delete one, and then you have one counter that works. So yeah, I just wanted to mention that in case you want to play with this, and yeah, so you are not disappointed. And yeah, this is the dining room, and all the rooms are really, really big. We're already into the living room right now. The rooms are really, really big and spacious, and the interior is basically all completely luxurious. I used, as I said, a lot of the Get Famous items, and the wallpaper and flooring is very, very basic. It's all the very expensive ones, but it's very basic, all white, and I just wanted like the furniture to stand out basically. So yeah, that's what I did. The dining room is really like a formal dining room, supposed to be a formal dining room for like really if they have like guests over, and they can pretty much have like a gala dinner or something like that. So that's what it's supposed to be. And they do also have a dining room, a dining table in the kitchen, so just for the family. And yeah, the living room basically is kind of like a normal living room, except it has like a grand piano, of course. And this is the master bedroom, and I was thinking for the family to live here that they would be maybe 4 Sims, so the parents, and I was thinking 2 teens. And I was thinking really like a well-made like businessman, and then just a stay-at-home mom maybe, and 2 teens that are obviously a little bit spoiled. And yeah, they do have a massive office as well, or the dad in my imagination. And I'm not showing you that, but you will see everything, pretty much everything in the cinematic shots in the end anyway, so don't worry. And yeah, that's kind of like the backstory that I had in mind. And there are 4 bedrooms, but one is supposed to be like a guest bedroom. So yeah, one's for the parents, that's obviously the master bedroom, and then one for the girl and one for the boy. That's what I had in mind. And then there's an extra guest bedroom. And of course they have a gym, and yeah, they have everything they need really. There's nothing that is not in this mansion. Like honestly, there's everything. And yeah, this is the proof, because they even have a spa. And yeah, the spa is in the 3rd floor or the 2nd floor. I never know which one, but like the highest floor. And yeah, obviously I had to incorporate the new spa day items. We have the new massage tables and the nail chairs, the new ones, and obviously they also have a sauna. And yeah, just basically everything that they would need. And initially I wanted to, you saw that there is a glass roof in the center of the house, and you can see the gorgeous lighting here. And initially I wanted there to be like I didn't want there to be floor from the ceiling to the ground floor. So I wanted it all to be open, and then just have the pool in the middle, and so that the lighting really comes through the glass roof inside the pool area. But that doesn't really work in game, because the lighting doesn't really go that far down. I haven't experienced that anyway. So yeah, I decided to do it differently, and I'm pretty glad I did. So we did have more rooms. And yeah, it's already going pretty much towards the end of this build. Now I'm working on the landscaping, and again here I did cut out a lot. For the fencing I used debug items from Discover University, and then for the landscaping I pretty much did all the same thing all around the build. I used these base game bushes, and just created some forms with them, like some round curved forms. And then I used this base game plant thing. I forget the name. I think it's base game anyway. It could be something else, but I'm pretty sure it's base game. And then I used base game flower bushes as well. And then I used also like palm trees from Island Living, and these beautiful cypress trees from Debug as well. And that's pretty much everything I did, like all throughout this build. And also I did create with the debug items from Discover University, we have pretty much they are the end pieces of the fence that we have, and that's what I'm doing here. I created some sort of like fence with them, because I kind of I found that it looks kind of nice, and I just sized them down like a lot. And I just copy pasted them and put them like in several areas, and I'm not showing you every area, but that's what I did like all throughout this build. And yeah, obviously there was a lot to furnish even on the exterior, and I did add a lot of plants. I used a lot of these like very expensive plants that I think came with base game as well, like with the weird shape, and I never used those, but I don't know, for this build I kind of felt like they made sense. And yeah, here's kind of like an English garden area kind of thing. And we have these massive stairs, like the massive stairway that's going down to that area. And yeah, I kind of thought that looks kind of cool. So yeah, and the furnishing is pretty much all very white and pretty like toned down, because the house itself is pretty like colorful actually. So we have the blue roof, and we have like kind of like a red burnt orange kind of brick color, and I did not want to take away from that, so I decided to use pretty much only white. And yeah, inside this round area, by the way, there is a meditation place basically. So yeah, I put these little meditation cushions that we have in there so they can also meditate. And in front of that there is a whirlpool as well. So really, as I said, they do have everything. They do have everything that they need. And actually, I was thinking, obviously they are going to be millionaires, so they are really like rich, like richy rich, kind of rich. And yeah, that's what I had in mind. And I thought obviously they were gonna have like maybe a maid, and obviously in The Sims they would have a butler, of course. So that's why the guest bedroom comes in handy, I guess. And yeah, that's pretty much going to be it, I think, for this build. I'm just adding some fountains in the front because I kind of felt it looked a little bit empty. And yeah, now I'm just adding some more lighting, and that's pretty much all I have to say. So I very much hope that you enjoyed this build. Sorry again that it has been a little bit of a late upload. I hope you don't mind that all too much. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. And if you like this video, be sure to give it a like and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And please enjoy the cinematic shots in the end, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!
I miss that sexy smile, looking forward to see you. I hope I will lose control. Love you every night, no checking the time, just us loving you all night long. I can let you go, baby, it's the right we already know, and we're feeling. I really do, I said the truth, we can't go any road. Need you now. I'm your queen and you the king right now. It's a kingdom, let's play it how you like. How does it make you feel? Or you wanna change? I'll be whatever, what you like. We can dance, you got to move tonight. Stars are watching us in the sky. I wanna last it forever. It's a sexy smile, looking forward to see you. I hope I won't lose control. Love you every night, no checking the time, just us loving you all night long.